I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a detailed look at the Summit Hanging Toiletry Bag, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. The outside of this thing is fairly simple, so there's not a ton going on. On the front here, you've got a nice and big logo, hard to miss, and it's got this little kind of like half moon shape to it. But we've got a top carry handle here. This is like a little bit of I would say it's a little bit rougher than a seatbelt material, but it is just, you know, it's sturdy, but it's not like the most intense handle I've ever seen. And then on the back here, we have a couple of different loops on either side for like attaching inside of your bag, or if you wanted to hang it from something else, maybe you want to like hang it up a different way, you can attach a carabiner or something like that. These stay fairly out of the way, so I didn't really find a huge use for them. But then we have these zippers here. The one thing to note on this is that there are no weatherproof zippers. So if anything spills on the inside, there is risk of it coming out. I never really had any issues, but something to keep in mind. These zippers as well are unbranded, but they feel pretty sturdy. They are just fairly tiny. As I'll show you, it gets kind of hard to zip around here, but they felt like they could stand up to the challenge. And then on these zipper pulls, we just have little plastic ends. So overall, fairly simple on the outside here. Now the outside in terms of secondary compartments, you've just got this one on the back here. So you can see it just fits very flush with the actual pouch itself, opens up, and then you've just got all the space in here. So essentially what I used this for was just keeping my toothbrush and my travel toothpaste. I found that getting into the main compartment can get a little bit finicky and be a little tedious. And so this was really great for stuff that I was grabbing more often. So I actually took this camping with me, and I was able to just leave the toothbrush there. And then if I wanted to just like quickly brush my teeth at the campsite or run to the bathroom, I didn't have to sort of like open everything up to get to it. So it's really great for quick grab items like that. So this comes in 2 sizes. Right here we have the small, which is 3 liters, and it also comes in a large, which is 6 liters. I found this to be a very good size for the amount of stuff that I just needed, sort of on a weekend basis, but you could go larger if you need to. So getting into the main compartment here, it just unzips in that, half moon shape. The zippers start a little bit higher up and then go all the way around the corners. And even with the rounded shape, I found it was still pretty difficult to get quickly into the pouch because you kind of have to grab it up here, zip around, and then, if you wanted to get to something, this whole flap opens up. So I'll kind of show you how that works. Right out the gate, we have this little mirror. This is a shatterproof mirror, and it is nice and convenient if you do want to, like I mentioned, I went camping, and so it was nice to just have access to that, but it's not really in a convenient spot. So you can either have it on the front here. It attaches to this little like strap that keeps this main compartment shut when you do open it up. And you can either attach it here, and then when you close it, you have to kind of close around it, and then it flaps around when you open it up. Or if you want, you can unhook that and you can move this to this back part here and then store it in this back compartment. But the one thing to note is that it's not really easy to get to it. So if you want to keep it out of the way, you can tuck it into, let's say you want to tuck it into this main compartment here. But then, if you wanted to get to it again, it's not really in a convenient spot. So nice to have it. I found it just a little bit fussy. Into this main little area here, we have your just sort of like general storage. It has a flat base, which is nice. And so it's a good amount of space. I can kind of take a couple of these bottles out here so you can see. And so, you do have a platform, but what I did find is that it was hard to kind of keep everything standing up. So you can see I've filled up every, inch of this little bottom here. But if I start to take stuff out, maybe I only have these couple bottles in here, these are going to start like flying all over the place. So it kind of starts curving up on the sides. You can see that's where that rounds there. And so I found that it was best to just sort of like, even if I wasn't using stuff, to just leave it in there so that it wasn't falling all over the place. And even because it is a rounded, flat base, it theoretically should stand up, but it doesn't. So if you were to just stick this on your counter, it doesn't really, you can't just like leave it open on your counter, which is where the hanger comes in. So we've got this hanger up top here. It stows away when you don't need it, but I used it pretty much all the time because what's nice is if you hang it up like this, it's just kind of like this nice shelf for you to get access to everything. But again, if you were to just leave this on your counter, it falls over. So hanger was really the most convenient way to use everything here. So I'll take out a couple of the things in this main compartment so that you can get a better view. But we've got the back little pocket here, and that is where I have just a couple of flat items. This is just like an open mesh pocket, and then the top we have two zippered mesh pockets as well. So I found that these ones here were really great for tiny items, while these ones were great for larger flat items. So this fabric here that's on the bottom, this is their Ultra Sil fabric, which is a 30D Cordura nylon. It has a ripstop design to it, and it's nice and easy to clean. I actually did have a spill in here, and I was able to just use like warm soapy water to get that all cleaned up and everything like that. So that was really convenient. And then when you have, all your stuff in and you're ready to go, you can just sort of zipper this up. And I found that it was pretty easy to zipper up, even when it was packed really full. And I like that it has a sort of like flexible design so you can really shove it into your pack if you have a little bit of extra space and you just need to get your toiletries in there. So there you have it, the Summit Hanging Toiletry Bag. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.